Therapist, I'm glad you came today. Before we begin, I want to ask something simple. What's a small comfort you still enjoy every day? A cup of tea? A phone call with a friend? A little piece of fruit? Patient. Softly, I like fruit. I've always liked fruit, but lately I'm not sure what's best for me. My doctor says to watch my sugar. My neighbor says to eat more fiber. I get confused. Therapist. That makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of mixed advice out there. Today I'd like to talk about 5 fruits I often suggest to older adults because they're easy, gentle, and can support different parts of health. We'll keep it simple, practical, and kind. I'll also ask about your routines, so we can make this fit your life. Does that feel okay? Patient. Yes, please. I'd like that. Therapist. Apples. A gentle daily protector. Therapist. Let's start with apples. They're familiar, affordable, and kind to many stomachs. In simple terms, apples are a good source of fiber, especially in the skin. That fiber helps with digestion and can support healthy cholesterol levels, which means they're a gentle friend for your heart. Patient. Curious, I always thought apples were just a snack. Do they really help that much? Therapist. They can. Think of fiber as a broom that helps sweep your system along. When you eat an apple with the skin, you get more of that sweeping effect. For many of my patients, swapping a cookie for an apple in the afternoon reduces that heavy, sluggish feeling and gives a more steady energy. Patient. Smiling Margaret, my neighbor, does that. She brings cinnamon and says it feels like dessert. Therapist. That's a lovely ritual. Little pleasures matter. If chewing is tough, apples can be stewed or baked until soft and enjoyed warm with a spoonful of yogurt. If you're watching blood sugar, pairing the apple with a small protein or fat, like a few nuts or a bit of cheese, helps slow the sugar into your bloodstream. Patient vignette, Margaret. Patient. As Margaret, I started bringing an apple in the afternoons after my doctor suggested more fiber. It kept me from napping after lunch, and I could keep my walk. Therapist. That's a great example of a small change creating a bigger ripple. If you want to try, we can make a simple plan. Place a bowl of apples on the counter where you'll see them. Visual cues help habits stick. Therapist. Berries. Tiny protectors for memory. Therapist. Next, berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. They're packed with antioxidants and plant compounds that support brain health in gentle ways. People sometimes call them brain berries because they help reduce low-level inflammation and support memory. Patient. Concerned I'm worried about memory lapses. Is this actually helpful? Therapist. While no food is a miracle cure, berries are one of several lifestyle choices that support thinking and memory over time. Many patients notice improved focus and a sense of mental sharpness when they make berries a regular habit, even if it's just a small handful added to breakfast. Patient. Practical fresh berries are expensive. Frozen ones are okay? Therapist. Absolutely. Frozen berries are excellent. They're often picked at peak ripeness and retain most nutrients. Use them in oatmeal, yogurt, or a warm compote. If swallowing is a concern, cook them briefly or mash them so they're softer. Patient vignette, Tom. Patient. As Tom, I put frozen blueberries on oatmeal every morning. It's a small ritual, but I feel more alert when I do the newspaper crossword. Therapist. Notice that connection, a small, pleasant habit that supports an activity you value. That's how sustainable change happens. Therapist. Bananas, calm energy and muscle ease. Therapist. Bananas are soft, easy to eat, and a very practical source of potassium. Potassium helps muscles and supports steady blood pressure. For people who experience nighttime leg cramps, a banana in the evening sometimes helps. Patient. Thoughtful, I get cramps at night. I've tried stretching, but it still wakes me. Therapist. Many patients find relief by adding a banana to their evening snack. It's also a good option when you need something you can eat on the go. If you're watching blood sugar, choose slightly firmer bananas. They release sugar a bit more slowly than very ripe ones. Patient vignette, Linda. Patient. As Linda, I started eating half a banana with a little peanut butter before bed. The cramps eased and I slept better. Therapist. That small change restored not only sleep, but a sense of control. When we can ease discomfort, it reduces worry, and that matters for mental health. Therapist. Oranges. Immune comfort and a moment of joy. Therapist. Oranges bring vitamin C and hydration, and they're comforting in a sensory way. The smell, the color, the ritual of peeling. For older adults, that vitamin C supports immune resilience and tissue repair. Eating the whole fruit gives you fiber too, which juice lacks. Patient. Mildly anxious, I take several medications. Are citrus fruits okay? Therapist. That's an important question. Oranges are usually fine, but grapefruit can interact with some medications. It's always wise to check with your pharmacist if you take medicines for cholesterol or certain blood pressure drugs. If you like citrus, sticking to oranges is generally safe, but checking is a small, smart step. Patient vignette, John. Patient. As John, I peel an orange every morning before I go volunteer. The scent wakes me up. I haven't had many colds in the years I started that habit. Therapist. Rituals that combine sensory pleasure and health can be powerful motivators. Therapist. Papaya. A quiet friend for digestion and glow. Therapist. Papaya contains natural enzymes that help digest proteins. It's gentle and hydrating. For people who feel bloated or heavy after meals, papaya can be soothing. Some patients also notice their skin looks fresher when they eat it regularly. Patient. Lighthearted. I don't often see papaya at my market. Is it hard to prepare? Therapist. Not at all. Choose one that's slightly soft and fragrant. Scoop with a spoon, add a squeeze of lime, or blend into a smoothie. If it's hard to find, frozen papaya works too. Patient vignette. Clara. Patient. As Clara, a friend suggested papaya. I tried it, and my mornings felt calmer. I stopped waking with bloating. Therapist. Again, small relief in the body leads to more comfort emotionally. Therapist. Common questions and practical concerns. Therapist. Let's address some common concerns you might have. First, sugar and blood glucose. Whole fruits contain fiber that slows sugar absorption, so they affect blood sugar differently than a sugary snack or fruit juice. If you have diabetes, that doesn't mean unlimited fruit, but whole fruit can and often should be part of a balanced plan. Work with your healthcare team to count carbohydrates and find the right portions. Patient. Worried, I don't want to make my blood sugar worse. Therapist. Your caution is smart. Choose whole fruit. Pair it with protein or healthy fat for balance, and monitor how your body responds. Small changes, measured and mindful, are best. Therapist. Second, medication interactions. We already mentioned grapefruit as a common issue. There are also medications that affect potassium levels. If you're on potassium-sparing drugs, it's wise to talk to your doctor before dramatically increasing high potassium foods. Most people can safely enjoy these fruits in normal amounts, but checking is simple and reassuring. Patient. That makes sense. Therapist. Chewing, swallowing, and texture options. Therapist. Chewing can become harder for some people. If that's the case for you, we can adapt. Cook fruits until soft, mash them, blend them into smoothies, or pair them with soft proteins like yogurt or cottage cheese. If swallowing is a significant concern, a speech-language pathologist can offer tailored techniques. Patient. Relieved, I like that there are ways around it. Therapist. Budget, shopping, and storage. Therapist. Practical tips often help people succeed. Frozen fruit is affordable, nutritious, and long-lasting. Buy fruits in season when they're cheaper and tastier. Store apples in the fridge to keep them crisp longer. Pre-cut fruit is convenient but often more expensive, and sometimes contains added syrup. Check the label. If you want, I can help you make a short shopping list that fits your budget and tastes. Patient. Interested, I'd like that. Therapist. A gentle plan you can try this week. Therapist. Let's create a simple, realistic plan. The goal isn't perfection. It's a small experiment. Try this for 7 days and notice how you feel. Morning. Oatmeal with a handful of berries, frozen is fine, and a spoonful of chopped apple or sliced banana. Mid-morning. A peeled orange or half an apple with a few nuts. Afternoon. A small papaya bowl or a banana if you need energy. Evening. Optional, a warm baked apple with cinnamon or a small berry compote. Therapist. Softly place a bowl of fruit where you'll see it. That visual cue will gently invite you to choose fruit over packaged treats. Patient. Tentative, what if I forget? Therapist, that's normal. Forgetting is not failure. It's information. We tweak the plan so it fits your life. If you forget, we reflect briefly. What got in the way? Was the fruit not prepared? Were you busy? Adjusting small barriers is how habits form. Therapist, mindful eating practice, short guided exercise. Therapist, slow. Calm if you're comfortable. Let's do a short mindful eating practice you can use with any fruit. Close your eyes if that's safe and comfortable. Take one deep breath in and out. Hold a piece of fruit in your hands. Notice its weight, its temperature. Bring it to your nose and breathe in the scent. Now take a small bite. Notice textures, flavors, how your mouth moves. Chew slowly. Notice how you feel after that bite. Not judging, just noticing. This practice helps you eat more slowly, enjoy food more, and often eat less while feeling satisfied. Patient. After a pause, I feel calmer when I do that. Therapist. Many patients report the same. Slowing down becomes a reward in itself. Therapist. Simple recipes you can read aloud or use on camera. Therapist. Inviting here are a few short, gentle recipes you can try or read aloud if you make a video of this conversation. Warm cinnamon apple. Slice an apple. Sprinkle with cinnamon. Warm in a small pan with a splash of water until tender. Serve with plain yogurt. Berry porridge bowl. Cook rolled oats. Stir in frozen berries in the last minute. Top with a few nuts. Banana peanut smoothie. Half a banana, a spoonful of peanut or almond butter, a small plain yogurt, and a splash of milk. Blend until smooth. Orange spinach salad. Toss baby spinach with orange segments, a few walnuts, and a light vinaigrette. Papaya and lime. Cube papaya. Squeeze fresh lime. Add a sprinkle of toasted seeds. Therapist. These are simple, nourishing, and easy to adapt. Therapist. Addressing emotional eating and food rituals. Therapist. Food often carries emotion. Some people reach for sweets out of boredom, loneliness, or habit. Replacing that with a fruit ritual can be soothing and emotionally nourishing. Instead of I can't have that, think, how can I have something I enjoy that supports me? Pair fruit with a pleasant activity. A short walk, a phone call, 5 minutes of breathing. These pairings become positive habits. Patient. Reflective, I didn't realize eating could feel like comfort in so many ways. Therapist. It does. We honor that and gently steer it toward choices that support both body and mood. Therapist. Monitoring, adjusting, and when to check in with clinicians. Therapist. If you have chronic conditions like diabetes or kidney issues, or take multiple medications, it's wise to run any big dietary changes by your healthcare team. If you notice any new symptoms, changes in digestion, swelling, or unusual tiredness, contact a clinician. For most people, though, adding these fruits in moderate amounts is safe and beneficial. Patient. I'll check with my pharmacist about my medications. That helps me feel safer. Therapist. Building small habits that last. Therapist. Let's end with a simple habit-building strategy one often teach. Implementation intentions. Decide ahead of time. If it is 10 a.m., then I will have a piece of fruit. Or pair the fruit with an existing habit. After my morning tea, I'll eat an orange. Start very small, 1 or 2 changes, and celebrate them. Keep a short journal or tick box to notice progress. Small wins build confidence, and confidence builds momentum. Therapist and patient. Closing reflection and invitation. Therapist. Gentle, which fruit among the 5 feels most doable for you right now? Patient. Thoughtful, I think berries. They're easy with my oatmeal, and I can use frozen ones. Therapist. That sounds like a realistic, meaningful first step. Can you imagine placing a bag of frozen berries on top of your freezer this week and adding them to breakfast 3 mornings this week? Patient. Deciding yes. I can do that. Therapist. Wonderful. Notice how you feel after a week in your energy, mood, and digestion. Bring those observations to our next visit or write them down. Small, kind choices add up. Therapist. Final. Warm if this conversation has given you any helpful ideas. Please consider sharing it with someone who might appreciate a gentle approach. And if you try a small experiment, like the berry habit, I'd love to hear what changed for you. Thank you for being here and for taking gentle care of yourself. Patient. Softly thank you. I feel hopeful. Therapist. Closing call to action. Friendly, not prescriptive. Therapist. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe for more conversations about simple, compassionate ways to feel better after 60. Leave a comment about which fruit you'll try, a small habit you've already found useful, or a question you'd like us to explore next. We learn from one another, and your story might help someone else take one gentle step today.